Introducing the Flappers. Who were the Flappers? The Flappers were a group of young women who were known for their energetic freedom and lifestyle. They spent their time pursuing fun instead of taking on the traditional role of homemakers. Many went to college or took jobs, feeling entitled to make their own decisions on how to live their lives. They also rebelled the traditional Gibson girl ideal, in which women were supposed to be tall, elegant, and independent females that maintained a ladylike position. They broke this ideal by wearing makeup, enjoying jazz music, and by dancing. They came up with the Charleston dance, in which they would flap their arms around, hence the name Flappers. Not only did they dance, but they also drank and smoked at parties and around town. How the Flappers came to be. A lot of young men did not return home from the war, leaving many women without husbands. So instead of staying home preparing to marry someone who may never come, young women started to spend more and more time going out and partying to enjoy all that life had to offer. Also, with the passage of the 19th Amendment, women were given the right to vote. With this came new senses of feminism and independence, and eventually the creation of the Flappers. Education also gave the rise to this new era of women, as they now had more opportunities in the workplace and thought independently about their clothing, careers, and more. Lastly, the creation of the Model T helped with the emergence of the Flappers. Cars meant that a woman could come and go as she pleased and did not need anybody else's permission to do as she liked. The perfect flapper look. Some characteristics of a flapper were wearing knee-length dresses with stilettos and high heels, wearing a full face of makeup, having short bobbed haircuts, wearing fancy headpieces, smoking and drinking around town, going to clubs and parties, and driving. All of these were looked down upon by others, but the Flappers didn't think much of what others had to say and embraced their looks. What were some of the major accomplishments of the Flappers? Some of their major accomplishments included creating the dance styles of the Charleston, Black Button, and the Shimmy. While at the club, they would grab a male partner and would use these dance styles to show off their talents. They also made alcohol drinking among women more common and helped the cosmetics industry have a boom due to their heavy makeup purchases. What the haters of the Flapper era had to say. Flappers were known as the lost generation by critics. The older generations, which included their grandparents, parents, and older siblings, saw them as immoral and disapproved of their actions. The way that they acted was not considered proper. Teachers and politicians thought Flappers were starting to tarnish the morals of Americans, and they would continue to do so until they were stopped. In the eyes of those who criticized them, the Flappers were seen as selfish, anti-family, and uneducated individuals. Some states, such as Utah and Ohio, went as far as banning form-fitting outfits and passing legislation on the length of a woman's skirt. Interesting facts. Norma Talmadge. She was the eldest of 3 daughters and achieved fame as both a movie star and film producer. She was also named the #1 box office star, who was earning more than $10,000 a week. Josephine Baker. She was also known as the Black Pearl and was a dancer and singer who became popular in France during the 1920s, receiving more than 1,000 marriage proposals. Zelda Fitzgerald. She was the wife of author F. Scott Fitzgerald. They were known as the Golden Couple. Zelda was famous for riding on top of taxicabs and splashing in the Plaza Hotel fountain. Coco Chanel was a famous fashion designer and founder of the Chanel brand. She had a major impact on the fashions worn by the flappers, introducing the sporty, casual look. The end of the flapper era and its impact. No one could afford the lifestyle any longer after the stock market crashed and the Great Depression. The economic hardships made it impossible for the flappers to continue with their lifestyle, and the era soon had to come to an end. Although they were short-lived, they made major contributions to the American society. They stood up for their freedom and equality by demanding women's rights and voting rights. They also redefined women's role in society by going to college and getting an education instead of settling down as homemakers. They broke the cookie-cutter image of how a woman should present herself and embraced social change.